My parents paid for my sister's BMW and ignored my struggles for years. When she hit me with a wrench, I took them down in court and destroyed them. My sister Vivian was the golden child from the day she was born. She got a brand new BMW on her 16th birthday with a red bow on the hood, while I got a $10 gift card to a fast food place, not even a real restaurant. When I asked my parents why the difference, my dad laughed and said, "You'll understand when you're older." I never understood. I worked 2 jobs through high school while Vivian got an allowance just for existing. She totaled the BMW within 4 months. My parents replaced it with an Audi. When I asked for help buying a bus pass, my mom told me to budget better. For my 18th birthday, they gave me a garbage bag and told me my room was being converted into Vivian's walk-in closet. I moved in with a coworker and slept on his floor for 3 months. Vivian posted photos of her new closet on Instagram with the caption, "When your parents actually love you." My parents liked the post. I worked construction during the day and took community college classes at night. Everything I had I earned with my own hands. Meanwhile, Vivian dropped out of the private university my parents paid $40,000 a year for because she didn't vibe with the professors. She moved back home and my parents remodeled the basement into a full apartment for her with a kitchenette and its own entrance. I was making $11 an hour covered in drywall dust. 3 years later, I'd saved enough to open a small auto repair shop. It was tiny, just me and one lift, but it was mine. Business grew slowly. Then Vivian showed up. She walked in like she owned the place and announced that she needed her car fixed and obviously wasn't paying because we're family. I told her the shop doesn't do free work. Her face twisted into something ugly. "You owe us. Mom and Dad funded your childhood and you turned out to be an ungrateful little brat. They gave me a garbage bag and told me to leave because you were always so negative, always complaining. You made everyone miserable." I told her to get out. She grabbed a wrench off my workbench and swung it at my head. I ducked, but it connected with my shoulder so hard I heard a crack. Pain exploded down my arm like electricity. She swung again and caught me across the ribs. I fell against the wall and she kept coming, screaming about how I ruined everything, how our parents cried themselves to sleep because of me, how I was the reason the family fell apart. My employee tackled her before the third swing could land. I was on the ground with a fractured collarbone and 2 cracked ribs. She was still screaming when the ambulance arrived. The police arrested her at the scene. My parents showed up at the hospital but not to check on me. They came to tell me to drop the charges against Vivian. My mom actually stood at the foot of my hospital bed while I was in a neck brace and said, "She's your sister. Family doesn't do this to each other." She fractured my collarbone with a wrench. "You provoked her. You always provoke her. If you'd just fixed her car, none of this would have happened." My dad crossed his arms. "Drop the charges or you're dead to us." I looked at both of them standing there choosing her over me one final time. "I'm already dead to you. I have been since I was 16. I didn't drop the charges." The prosecutor took one look at the security camera footage from my shop and upgraded it to aggravated assault. Vivian was facing actual prison time. That's when my parents hired a lawyer to destroy me. They filed a counterclaim saying I had stolen money from them as a teenager, that the shop was funded with family money, that I owed them restitution. Every single claim was a lie. But I had something they didn't expect. Records. Every paycheck stub from every job since I was 15. Every bank statement showing exactly how I saved every dollar. Every tuition payment I made myself. My lawyer laid it all out at the hearing like a timeline of neglect. The judge looked at my parents' financial records and found something interesting. They'd been claiming me as a dependent on their taxes for 3 years after kicking me out. 3 years of fraudulent tax deductions while I lived on someone's floor. The IRS doesn't take kindly to that. Vivian took a plea deal and got 18 months plus mandatory anger management. My parents got audited. The back taxes and penalties totaled $67,000. Their lawyer fees ate through what was left. Last I heard, they sold the house to cover everything. Vivian's Audi got repossessed while she was still in jail. My shop has 3 lifts now and 4 employees. I put up a sign in the waiting room that says, "Family discount, full price." Nobody's asked about it yet.